When Perry Stone began his live broadcast, viewers expected a routine message. Instead, he delivered a calm but unusually candid reflection that quickly transformed into one of the most discussed moments in Christian media. Speaking with measured seriousness, he referenced long-standing concerns related to Joanie Lamb and the operations at Dayar. His remarks centered on influence, expectations, and the pressures surrounding televised ministry, initiated a rapid public response. Stone stated that ministry becomes vulnerable when financial support intersects with editorial control. He suggested that certain messages received more encouragement than others and noted that subtle pressure can shape public communication. His comments, delivered thoughtfully and without hostility, resonated as a form of long-withheld honesty rather than accusation. Within hours, clips of the live stream circulated widely across social media, prompting extensive debate. Following his remarks, former employees, pastors, and contributors began sharing their own accounts. Many described experiences involving strict oversight, strategic messaging preferences, and a work environment heavily influenced by leadership expectations. Some referenced internal decision-making processes that affected which content aired and which partners were promoted. While none of these accounts were accompanied by formal evidence, their thematic consistency intensified public scrutiny. Several individuals mentioned concerns about internal culture, including perceived pressure to align with specific theological or stylistic approaches. A few referenced financial decisions they believed required greater transparency. Others described employment conditions that discouraged internal critique, noting the presence of confidentiality agreements and a heightened sensitivity to reputation management. As these accounts multiplied, public confidence began to shift. Viewers who had long supported Dayar expressed disappointment and uncertainty, seeking clear communication from leadership. Ministries and churches that previously collaborated with the network quietly paused their involvement. Donation levels declined, programming adjustments increased, and staff described a workplace marked by tension and uncertainty. The absence of a detailed public response from Joanie Lamb became a focal point. Weeks later, when she appeared on air, her message centered on perseverance and faith during adversity without directly addressing the circulating claims. For some viewers, this provided reassurance. For others, it reinforced concerns about transparency. Internally, Dayar faced significant operational challenges. Leadership debated how to respond, balancing reputational risk with organizational continuity. Financial pressures intensified as donor confidence weakened, staff morale declined, and long-standing partnerships became strained. Externally, the situation broadened into a wider conversation about accountability within Christian broadcasting. Many churches and ministries began reevaluating their own governance and communication practices, influenced by the scale of public reaction. What began as one minister's reflective statement ultimately evolved into a broader industry-wide reconsideration of transparency, leadership responsibility, and the balance between ministry and organizational influence. The outcome for Dayar, its leadership, and its audience remained uncertain, but the episode underscored a central theme. Public trust in faith-based media is built not only on message but on consistent openness, integrity, and accountability. As the situation evolved, Dayar's leadership faced increasing pressure to demonstrate structural accountability. Internally, senior managers reviewed compliance procedures, communication workflows, and financial reporting mechanisms. Some advocated for an independent audit to restore confidence, while others were concerned that external review could introduce additional reputational risk. These internal divisions slowed decision-making and intensified uncertainty among employees. The network's board convened repeatedly, examining legal implications and public perceptions. Advisors urged a strategic response that addressed concerns without escalating conflict. However, the absence of a unified communication strategy contributed to ongoing speculation. Stakeholders, both internal and external, were left without substantive clarity on the network's long-term direction. Meanwhile, affiliated ministries reevaluated their media partnerships. Several organizations temporarily suspended programming commitments or relocated their content to alternative platforms. Their decisions were framed as precautionary, emphasizing responsibility toward congregants and donors. This gradual withdrawal further reduced Dayar's operational stability. Viewer behavior also shifted. Surveys conducted by independent research groups indicated declining trust, with many respondents citing a need for greater transparency across all major Christian broadcasters. Some participants noted that the controversy had prompted them to reassess how they evaluated televised ministry and to place greater emphasis on local community engagement. Within the organization, staff described a period of reflection and adjustment. Workloads decreased as production schedules were reduced. Team meetings focused less on expansion goals and more on maintaining essential operations. Some employees viewed the moment as an opportunity for institutional reform, While others struggled with the emotional and professional impact of the ongoing scrutiny, financially, the network prepared for long-term contraction. Forecasts projected continued declines in donations and sponsorship revenue. Leadership began exploring restructuring options, including consolidating departments and reducing non-essential programming. These measures were described as temporary, though many employees anticipated extended changes. Despite these challenges, some supporters remained committed. They emphasized the network's historical role in providing faith-based programming and expressed hope that a period of difficulty could lead to meaningful improvement. Religious commentators urged patience, arguing that organizational crises often reveal opportunities for renewal and strengthened governance. Still, public uncertainty persisted. Analysts noted that trust, once disrupted, requires sustained effort to rebuild. Without direct engagement from leadership addressing core questions about governance, decision-making, and accountability, the path to recovery remained unclear. As the situation continued to unfold, the narrative surrounding Dayar became less about a single leader or statement and more about structural issues within faith-based media organizations. The event highlighted recurring themes: the interplay between ministry and influence, the need for transparent leadership practices, and the importance of safeguarding public trust in spiritual institutions. The long-term outcome would depend on the organization's willingness to implement clear reforms, communicate openly with its audience, and demonstrate measurable accountability. Whether Dayar could emerge from this period stabilized and renewed, or whether it would continue to contract under the weight of eroded confidence, remained an unresolved question.